Hello. Hi. Welcome back. It's Dark Souls 2. It's still Dark Souls 2. You know, that guy did a little bit of damage to me. Because he had a fire... arrow. That's what it's called, an arrow. And my shield doesn't block arrows. Or at least fire. It does block arrows, but not fire. You can slide down the rest of the way. How much fire does it block? It blocks like... just over half fire. There's a lot of these guys. You could say an ambush amount. Look at that nice texture right there. I'm pretty sure I have textures all the way up. Let me see. It would be in PC options, video settings. Well, there sure isn't a higher setting for it. There you go, high. Texture quality high. Yeah, there you go, very, very high right there. Huh? No, I don't want to change my settings. I feel like that texture along the wall is this thinner texture on this wall, just stretched very thin. And maybe that's why it looks so terrible and awful and bad. You see, that's how you do a backstab Dark Souls 2, that's how you do it. And of course this is an elevator, so the camera gets stuck yet again. For some reason that water down there is glitching out. You have to drop off to get this item. There's more torches, which you can light if you wish. And then there's the Flexile Sentry. There he is. Walking in, walking out, who knows where he's going. If you're wondering how that roll worked, it's because I have high adaptability. And no other reason. Under any other circumstances it would not have worked, that roll. Very few chances to actually hit this thing. Okay. Hey, maybe he can't come this way. Woohoo! Death is in your future. Or rather, your present. Blossom Kite Shield. It's like a kite shield, but with blossom. And oh yeah, that Flexile Sentry, even though he is very tough, he gives you nothing. He just gives you souls. And I suppose souls are something, but to me they're nothing. And so few souls too, he doesn't even give you 4,000 of them. And I have all this soul-upping equipment on. Anyway. That just kind of looks odd. Look at all this ocean. That just ends in an abyss, apparently. But yeah, just a big domed thing underneath this cliff. Why is it here? Who put it here? Bring out your flame butterfly and light these. It makes the arena for the boss a lot brighter, and therefore you can lock onto it easier. Literally, that's a game mechanic for this arena. You make it brighter so that you can lock onto the boss. Why did they make the beginning of this tunnel all oily when I can see in there that there's just wood in there? Why not just make it... Why not just extend the oily tube all the way in as far as I can see? Because then I can just assume that it's the oil that's lighting things up and not, you know, wood. And then the fire is hot enough to get on to light those sconces forever. I feel like what they wanted to do was to have fire shooting up there, but then they were like, nah, let's put sconces up there. Anyway, this is the Lost Sinner. When you get into the arena, a bug crawls in her eye. So it's meant to be assumed that she is like one of the connected to the daughters of Izalith from Dark Souls 1 or something like that. And when she jumps up, it's tough to keep the lock-on onto her unless you have the fires lit. But anyway, because I have a huge weapon, I deal lots of damage. Let's see how the hammer does. Hammer is good. Good hammer. You've done that thrust twice now. Want to get a new attack? That's one good thing about the greatsword, is that you might not be able to attack with it often, but when you do, it does a good amount of damage. What? Oh. Okay, apparently she can parry you. I literally had no idea. But anyway, the music cuts out instantly, of course, as it always does. Get a ton of souls. And we still have way too many healing items. There's a chest here. In the original version of the game, this would be a sublime bone dust. But no, it's a fragrant branch of yore and Elizabeth mushroom. And Elizabeth mushrooms are, of course, healing items. Large gradual restoration of HP. How much HP? For how long? Who knows? Primal bonfire lit. And I got an achievement for that. Not for beating the boss, but for lighting her bonfire. And you can't rest at these bonfires for some reason, but they do teleport you back to the whatever the place is called, Majula. So I feel like that this game was, at some point, maybe had fewer warp zones. Like maybe you couldn't warp as much as in the original vision of the game. And then at some point they were like, let's make you be able to warp from the start. And the thing that supports that is that these bonfires at the end of these areas warp you back to Majula, when you could just warp back from any bonfire. So why make it so that these ones just warp you back instead of having things to do at them? Unless the game were at one point a lot more linear, where you reach the end of the areas and then you teleport back here and then go to the next area. That's my hypothesis, at least. Anyway, tons of souls. How many soul memories is that? That is almost 500,000 soul memories, which is in the top right.
You have a... that is...
You beat a big boss, good job. That is what she has said to me. About 20 of those, and then back to strength and health and whatnot. How's my roll? It sure is rolly. It's a roly-poly. If I take off the hammer... No. That is not much better. So just keep that hammer on and keep hammering on. Reinforce my thingy. You cannot... Don't waste my time! So Fragrant Branch, we can now go up that way. However, the correct path is this way. Because this way leads to a lady who can give us infinite upgrade stones. At least at some point in the game. Remember the lady we killed? Now we don't have to pay to use this thing. Normally you have to pay and then she turns this thing and then you can go down this path, but hey, we don't have to pay now. We killed her! Rogue water. I believe that is also a healing item. Restores HP and spell uses. Ooh, so special. Our next boss will be a bit of a tricky one. He has an ovular arena. But look, it's Dark Man. It's Man of Dark. If you have both faith and intelligence, you can talk to this guy and get faith and intelligence spells. Which are like hexes, I think. That's the arena. It's ovular. That guy is not a friendly. He does not attack you, but only because he is lying in wait to attack you. And or ambush you. You could say. You know, just a tactic that this game likes. Ambushes. Just a little bit, just likes it a little bit. There's poison. Where does the poison come from? Comes from butterfly. Butterfly up there. I think if you kill enough butterflies, you can get the butterfly costume. Either that or you buy it off of someone. At some point. Here's a big ambush room up here. I don't mean to keep pointing out the ambushes, they just keep happening. You can introduce more light into the room if you destroy those. You try to open this door and another guy ambushes you from beyond the door. See? And then you have those guys over there with their arrows trying to ambush you, and then you have an invader. And then you had the guys who came from behind ambushing me. So it's like a triple ambush room. And then the invader, which I had no idea about. So quadruple ambush. Incredible game design. Incredible. How many ambush guys are in here? Heal up before the invader attacks me. Wherever he is. Here's that one pit from that one Star Wars movie. Also 300. That's a movie, not a number, but it's also a number. I make my own self Laugh. If you know what I mean. And then you have more ambushes over here. Guy jumps up from nowhere. No other enemies can jump like that in the game. You can't jump like that. How can he jump? How can he jump? Oh, there's a guy up there. That's another ambush waiting for you when you go onto that bridge over there. Then you have this item. Where's that invader? Where did he go, Kanai Joe? Oh look, more people waiting to ambush. And over here we have yet another ambush. Yep. Invader returned to their world. Okay. I suppose that can happen. And then you have tree. And the one bonfire for this entire area. No, there's another bonfire. But this is the main bonfire for this entire area. That, I think you have to walk off of that bridge up there to get to. Either that, or you walk off of the thing directly above me. Anyway, there should be a guy dropping down from up there. Or not. Sometimes he drops, sometimes he doesn't. How high level are we? We're level 95. That's a lot of levels. We only fought one major boss out of 4. I think this is some kind of important item. Like a branch, maybe. Morning Star. Not important item. Just a weapon. This is not where I want to go to. But this is... Oh! Ooh. Indeed, I did want to find this room. This area is a bit confusing. There's some bone dust for you to upgrade your flask, and soul spear. Just a big major spell sitting right there. Who knows why? And then you have these big fellows. Try to get that backstab, because it's a one-hit kill. That's how I beat these guys, at least. If you can't, do not worry, your sword is huge. And it can handle many tasks. With ease! If you have enough stamina, that is. Skeleton! This skeleton, however, does not come back to life. Like the skeletons of before. Here's a big ambush room. Look at all those guys waiting for us. What I like to do is I just lure them out one by one. Handled. That's how you handle the handle man. Uno. Instead of dos, we are unoing. Thank goodness the backstab actually landed. Cracked red eye orb. Who do you think I am, an invasion man? There's 3 of those guys. Will I get all of them or one of them? Somehow I got the furthest one away from me. See, the blade was less in his body that time, so I feel like that's why it did less damage. It's weird, the inconsistent damage numbers in this game. Hello? Are you there? Are you prepared to fight? Are you prepared to die? Addition? I see you. Silly jumpy man. Must I walk forward for you to ambush me? Thank you, ambush man. And then there's a couple more guys waiting to ambush you on this bridge. I guess I'll let him stay there. And look. Fire seed. Good for fire build. Pyromancy build. Thanks Dark Souls 2 for letting me make that jump. That's a long way back there. I made the jump before, but I guess not that time. Yep, now he ambushes me. So many items, so many life gems. How many do you think I need? This way. Not that way, this way. When I originally played the game, this is the area that I learned that you could despawn enemies. Because I went through here so many times. Not because it's tough, but because it just isn't fair, man. It just ain't fair. Uh-huh, uh-huh. Come on, come on. No, 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 we're not playing like that today. That's how we're playing today. I denied you my death. Now what shall you do? Shall you death harder? Dark Souls 2 die harder. Come at me, lame person who is lame. You kind of just have to wait for them to expend all of their attacks. If that's the correct term. Because otherwise they just dominate you. Which is not, it's not that fun. In this context, at least. I say many a weird thing, but that was probably a weirder one. That was for the freaky gamer. The parody of Game Freak. The opposite of Game Freak, I should say. Imagine that's a nerd store, Freaky Gamer. And that's where all the freaky games go. Okay, I guess I'm not hitting you today. And then you have this guy. Yay! The janky backstabs worked in my favor today. Usually he's a huge pain to deal with, but I suppose my weapon is upgraded sufficiently. And now you have big arena with Skella people who want to harm you, a skeleton. Come on, come on. We're not doing that. No, 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 no. But anyway, necromancers. Kill the necromancer. The skeletons die. Whew. This boss is a huge pain in the butt because he is constantly circling around the arena, and these skeletons are just hiding everywhere. And of course that hits you. Of course it does. Come on, man. Get out of my sight. And of course tons of them come after you all at once. Get out of my way, skeleton. Skella Santana. There ain't enough room for the both of us. Literally. 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 Literally, I say. Get out of here. For some reason, when you're locked on, you can just change where your blade is going with great swords. I don't understand it. If I'm locked on, then I want to attack forward. Surely you understand this, game developers. If I am locked on, then that is who I want to attack. But anyway, we just beat the hardest part of the fight. Now he crashes. And instead of fighting the guy on the horses, you fight the horses, of course. You fight a horse, of course, of course. Of course, the music instantly cuts out yet again. Don't kill me, spell. It got tired of me insulting the game by pointing out objective realities. But anyway, yeah, that's an optional boss fight. We didn't have to fight that guy. There's a covenant beyond that guy that you can join. And we'll be getting there soon, but first, items. Fading souls, aka the lowest amount of souls that you can get from popping a soul. Not even worth the time to pop it. But yeah, if you just do what I did in that boss fight, it isn't too tough. That said, it is really tough to do what I just did in the fight. At least without dying, which is preferable. Particles. Why are there so many particles in here? I guess that's a PC thing. Because on console, there aren't this many particles in here. They seem to move with the camera or something. Seems odd. Anyway, Covenant.
What is it? Oh. What is it? Oh. You trouble.
I guess you have to invade someone in order to join the Covenant. Because this is like an invasion covenant. If you like invading people, that is. But now's time to level up yet again. We have to go all the way back to Majula and wait for her to stand up. Seek lest ye seek lest. HP. Not that. HP. That way. This way. Big health bar. Never die. I really wish it told me how much health I have right now that my health is reduced. But look, Undead Purgatory is its own travel to place, instead of just being one of these, you know? They could have really truncated these warp places. Like Belfry doesn't need its own warp category, and neither does Undead Purgatory. Not gonna come after me this time? Oh yeah, I forgot to burn the thing. I reminded myself in my head to burn the Undead Bone Shard. The Sublime Bone Dust. I guess that's what it's called in this one. But, I guess I just forgot. I reminded myself and forgot about it. The right way to go is up here. You have to get in this little hut and pull a lever. And then fight off all of the guys who ambush you. Like that guy. But what that lever does is it lowers a bridge over there. Come on, man. Get deadified. Now that the bridge is lower, we can cross. Here is bonfire, but cannot reach. Instead, you must run along this path. Very good hammer, incredible hammer. My goodness. Very good attack, sir. Let me show you mine. What? What an awkward exchange. He just barely hit me. And I destroyed his entire life. Merciless Rowena. I guess you could call her that. Or you could call her dead. Invader banished. Undead Lockaway key. That's how you unlock the bonfire that I passed by. There's another room over there that you can get ambushed in. Always fun getting ambushes. Big loud waterfall. Boss fight, if that suits your fancy. But what we want is in here, and nobody's following me, right? Now they're not. Torch. We have skeletons, but first we must kill the necromancer. Necromancer is this way. Have to remind myself. My own self, even. Myself and my own self. Man. That hammer is nice. I never quite realized how nice it was against just regular enemies. Combustion. Just another spell just sitting there. I hate that this game doesn't just show you the spell icons as you pick them up. Or what the weapons look like, because Dark Souls 1 did that. Here they're all just listed out for you. Like a more literal kind of list. Instead of having the picture there. I want to see the picture. I want to see what the item looks like when I pick it up. So that when I go in my inventory, I can look for the picture. Necromancer died-ified. But you see, the big, huge greatsword is good too because it knocked so many guys. It hit so many skeleton mans at once. Those pots curse you, and curse means death. Or rather, not death, but it means that your health gets shortened. That is the curse, is your health shortening. And whenever you die, the curse bursts upon you. At least a little bit. But anyway. Bonfire, light bonfire, and meet Guy. This guy is man. He will help you out with boss fights, here and there. And he has his own quest line. And his own gesture. So isn't that nice? But who cares about all that? It's boss time. It's Skella boss time even. Boss of Skeleton. They're all T-posing. Because I guess when I go out, it unloads the area, and when I come back in, it reloads the area, but these guys don't have ragdoll physics once they're dead. So they just go back into a T-pose and never move. And then their swords are just sticking up out of the ground. Hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. Dark Souls 2 will never find a way to not make you laugh. But yeah, you can summon that guy for this boss fight. You have 3 skeleton lords, you kill one, it spawns a bunch of skeletons. And all the skeletons go towards the boss health bar. I think it's best to just kill one skeleton lord and then kill the skeletons that they spawn. Because then it's like slightly easier. Come at me, you foul fiends, you fiendishly foul fools. Oh, no, come on. Oh. Yeah, you can backstab them. How about that? And now die. Send your things out. Let me see your skeleton. That's the one that sends wheel skeletons. And remember, it's Dark Souls 2, so be extra cautious of the wheel skeletons. Unfortunately, this is not like 4 Kings where you can deal enough damage to destroy the health bar before you actually deal with all 4 Kings. Here you actually have to deal with every single skeleton. Isn't that a fun game mechanic? And of course the music instantly cuts out yet again. It never fails to do that. Never. And I suppose that's it. That's the boss fight. Kind of feels anticlimactic. Had zero build-up, and it was just kind of there. But hey, you get a soul. You get more souls. Not that many souls, actually, compared to how many I've been getting. How high level am I? I think I'm 100. I'm 99. It's nuts to me just how high level you can get in this game without getting that far. Item? No item. Look, it's poison water. Jump past the poison water or just roll right in it, I suppose. I forgot the jump button. It's different between games. And in Elden Ring, it's a whole actual button. Here is Lady, who has stone and, is well endowed.
I travel about. I never pretend. I must have. But now, many of. I've extra.
You can buy stones from her. Upgrade stones. We don't need that, but she goes back to camp and then gives you more stones.
I came in the
Speak to her enough and she'll go back to Majula and give you stones there.
I suppose.
She kind of stands out in this landscape. Just this massive dead landscape with all of these knights walking about, and then you have a lady in a very nice dress who's very much showing off, by the way. And clean skin, clean hair, even in a big standing ponytail or whatever you call it. And it's just like, man, you're not very Dark Soulsy, are you? Are you, lady? It just kind of stands out as something that doesn't belong here. That guy, see that guy? He kind of belongs here, but I also think he kind of more belongs in Lord of the Rings than in Dark Souls. Big guy being piloted by a small little guy. Here you have poison fog. This area loves to poison you. Luckily we have infinite life gems forever, so we can counteract poison. This is like the one area where life gems are useful. But, I mean, like, mechanically useful beyond just healing you. Like, actively counteracts a negative side effect. Poison! There's a lot of good items in this poison fog. Or at least a couple. And that's why I'm going through here. Might as well use my life gems, why not? It's not like I've used that many of them. And I have plenty to spare. Oh. Okay, he can parry me. Alright. Two can play at that game, except I didn't parry you. Titanite chunk. Always get your chunks. I cannot cycle back to my Estus flask fast enough to use it. There's some more items down in that fog, but I'm not sure if they're worth it. So why not go after them? Fragrant Branch of Yore, always worth it. Raw stone. That is not an attacky skeleman. Fire seed and divine blessing, aka full heal. So many healing items. Maybe some people prefer this game because it's easier than Dark Souls 1 or 3. Because it gives you just so many healing items everywhere. And then these ladies also stand out in Dark Souls. They're wearing pretty much nothing. And it's just like, man, how are you standing so unblemished in this Dark Souls world? You know what I mean? Like, most people in Dark Souls have some sort of scar to show, but then you have just these weird fire dancer ladies. You can get their equipment, by the way, and wear it. Just something about them stands out. It's like they just don't belong in this game, I feel like. Their aesthetic does not fit. There's a few things in this game where it's like, this does not fit the Dark Souls aesthetic. My goodness. Could you show off more? It's kind of weird because it's like, who are they trying to cater to with designs like that? The really weird nerds in the audience? The awkwardly weird nerds? Thanks, Hammer, for actually hitting the target that I was aiming towards. Anyway, enough ranting about what ladies wear. Fake video game ladies who are made by men. And maybe like 1 or 2 women on the team. The game-making team. We have some Titanite chunks, so I could upgrade my stuff, but it would only be like 1 upgrade. I want to have like 2 upgrades. So now don't do the sprinting attack, because apparently the sprinting attack just misses completely. And then those guys fade away. So I guess I'll be running back and forth through here for a little bit. So awkward. You have to sprint, and then stop sprinting, and then attack. They are giving me chunks, however. I think. Are those chunks, or are they just large? They're large. I don't need large. I have large. I'm large enough, as you can see. Okay. He wants to be poison. So I guess I'll follow him. Thanks. I guess I'm poison. There's an area over there, you can get some items in there, but who cares? Then you can get some items down there, but who cares? Who cares about the items? And then you have Hammerman. Okay, I guess I care about the items. Thanks, Hammerman. Hammer brother. If you go in here, there's tons of poison pots. And the Hammerman runs through them and gets poisoned. Which is nice to see. It's very, very nice to see. Just dies on his own, he does. Great, I was poisoned again. Yay! But at least these Hammer brothers can die on their own due to poison. Why fight? Why fight these things? And, if you go this way, we have another Covenant in here. There used to be an enemy in this corridor, I think, in the original version of the game. But look, somehow this is like where Undead perishes in Dark Souls 1. Because this is the exact same statue for the Sunlight Covenant in Dark Souls 1. Discover a most brilliant covenant, the achievement says. We are now the way of the sun. Praise the sun. Yes, yes, the memes, the memes. Your memes end here. And then you have the sunlight ring, which can do something. What does it do? It lets your summoning signs be seen more and increases miracle attack power. Yay! There's another lady woman up there attacking us, as they like to do. Kiss of death. Uh-huh. I seen your kiss of death, lady. It does not affect me. Too much, at least. Hey, plunging attack. Plunging attack always works. Always works except when it never works. Which is never, because it always works. I forget what items are around here. Okay, thanks, Ambush Man. You have more of these poison creatures. Thanks, Poison Man. Great. Poison gas in a chest just to poison me even more. As if I could have been poisoned more. Are you ready for the toughest, super tough boss fight in the super game? It's not. It's not. It's the most derpy boss fight in all of Dark Souls. Possibly the easiest boss in the whole series. He just rolls over, and that's his attack. Then rolls again. The Covetous Demon. What an incredible boss. This is why people call Dark Souls 2 the best Dark Souls game. And it's done. So, in case you didn't think that boss was pathetically easy enough, there is a way to cheese him. You can knock down those pots of bodies, and then he will go over to it and start eating on it for a long, long time. Enough time for you to probably destroy his entire health bar. And I'm just like, man, why? First of all, why does that boss exist? And second of all, why did you feel the need to make it even easier? That just has to be one of those things that was left in. Like they didn't have enough time to finish the game and they just had to leave some stuff in. Gotta upgrade my Estus. And my weapon. Huh. Only one upgrade. There can be 3 more upgrade. Hammer, no hammer.
I'll be around.
If you make it back. Here is
Oh, fancy meeting you.
big show-off lady
Speak.
with big stones. No
No
stones.
interest.
No stones to speak
See
of.
yourself.
Is that here to see? However,
It's so funny whenever their mouths just don't move at all. When they're speaking dialogue. They're saying things with their mouths that don't move. Health to 40. No, 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 don't talk, don't speak. Go here, burn, thing, yes, +2 Estus. I can heal even more now. My healing power has increased exponentially. You may take the message away. But anyway. It's time to go through more area. This area isn't too difficult. It's just a lot of things. Hey, you mind being poisoned for me? Do you mind it? Hammer brother? I suppose he did mind it. That's a big poison pot. Don't touch the poison unless you want to be poisoned. This guy is called a graveyard knight or something like that. A grave warden. So of course it makes sense that he is in this big poison tower in the middle of nowhere and not guarding a grave. Here's another ambush. 2 guys come after you from this hole in the ceiling. And they're very, very fast with their attacks. Come on, man. Come on. Thank you for my jank backstabs, Incorporated. Go in here and follow this guy through this door before he can close the door. Because you really want to go through that door. See, one of these guys goes to this lever and closes the door on you, and then you have to go all the way around to open it back up again. But thankfully, I stepped through here before he could do that. And now our journey is shortened. I guess that's ocean out there, and then mountains. So look at this huge land. There's ocean, there's mountains, there's poison, and the area that we came here through, I guess, just isn't there. It's like miles away, because the distances in this game make no sense, and neither do the ways that you get to places. This guy's standing in the way. Okay. It tried to backstab the guy through the wall, but of course it didn't work because it was through the wall. But it tried to backstab him anyway. It played the whole animation and it just didn't do anything. But anyway, this is a massive tower in the middle of a huge land, in the middle of the water. It's very important to realize that for what I'm about to show you. At least within like 10 minutes from now. Here, this guy's a ladder guy. He makes you ladders. You pay him money, he gives you ladders. It's a fair trade, alright. And then he goes back to Majula and you can get even more ladders from him. And you can even buy a ladder miniature. I think that does something, but I'm not sure what it does. Anyway, we might as well use our ladder. Our newfound ladder. Get a little item, Pharos Lockstone. That's worth 2,000 souls. And some twinkling titanite. So we can upgrade our hammer. Even Forthar. But, in this room... Hold on, there's an enemy. I can hear an enemy. Mannequin mask. I guess they're down there. But yeah, these guys are mannequins, and I suppose you can wear their mask. And look, you get to travel through this fog wall from either side. Isn't that fun? Oh, there you are. Thanks. Thanks for almost killing me. Even though I was holding the shield button the entire time. But he was just staggering me too much for me to hold it up, actually. Thanks, Dark Souls 2. If only I could show you my inputs, so that I could show you I was holding the shield button the whole time. Dark Souls 2. Dark Souls also. Okay. Uh-huh. Spam if you can spam if you want to. You can leave your friends behind. But if you don't spam, and if you don't spam, then you're no spam of mine. Uh-huh, yeah, uh-huh. Sounds like Dark Souls 2 to me. And then they just jankily walk away, trying to get back to where they came from, but failing. In a way that is more delicious than me defeating them. Yeah, come after me. Come after me, you old fool. Thanks, wall. Thanks, wall. Uh-huh. Lots of damage because the wall just was right there. Anyway. Mannequin mask, what's it look like? It looks all weird. Look at it, it's weird. That's something you'd see at the Freaky Gamer store. Just so frustrating. You try to fight these enemies regularly, and just it fails you. The game fails you so much. in just you trying to play normally, it fails you so many times. Anyway, this is a big, of course, wooden windmill. This bit is metal. Very much metal, so of course you can light it on fire. Why wouldn't you be able to light the metal on fire? And then that stops the windmill and in turn stops the poison from being pumped into the facility. So now all those areas where the poison was really high, where there was poison liquid all over, there is now no longer any poison liquid. Even outside. Okay, yeah, okay, yeah. Why don't they have heads? They gave me a mannequin mask, and I presume that it's for these guys, but then they don't wear the mannequin mask. So why give me... why the... Dark Souls 2. The most sensical game. Kill me! kill, die. That's what I say. Okay, that should have hit those. Don't get poison. Don't get poison. For some reason, poison can coat your body in this game, and while it's on your body, it can still creep the poison up on you. But anyway, that's a hidden wall. Or rather, the wall isn't hidden, but you know what I mean. You have another show-off lady. And a ring, a spell quartz ring, a ring of spell and quartz. I'm gonna use a humanity. Because, man, I would like my health from all of those terrible deaths back. Those deaths that should not have occurred because the game is poopy. It should be less poopy. And that is my opinion. Poopy games should be less poopy. In my opinion. Okay, now it killed her in one hit. Now it did. Games, video games, and more games. Here you have more walls. This one has a chest behind it. Petrified something. I believe that's something you can give to the crow people. The little crowlings. And entire bonfire. Hidden bonfire. You can just go straight to the boss. Which is underneath the bonfire, by the way. By the way. Of course we get poisoned. What else would we get? Not poisoned? This is the poison area. Do not open this chest. Instead, destroy this chest with all your might. For it is a mimic. The first mimic in the game, I believe. Dark gauntlets and work hook. This boss is a lot easier with summons, and I wish that I could summon, but man, I don't want to summon for the playthrough. I want to do it legitimately. That walk looked very janky. Like, where are you going? Where are you going? Okay, that played the backstab animation, and he acted like he got hit, but it just did nothing. It did 0 damage, it didn't even do the backstab. So what's going on there? How does that work? It's like you want it to do the backstab, but then it's like, what is backstab? What is that? I don't understand, I'm just a video game here. Anyway, boss fight time. She has poison in her arena. Normally it's all around the center, but I lowered the poison. So now it's just on the outer ring. And the poison heals her, so it's bad poison. If only we got a ring from her that allowed poison to heal us, that would be a neat idea. Like the damage it would deal to you instead heals you. Break the game, break it open. Mitha, the baneful queen. Queen of what? Nothing now. Your music cut out early. Which means your life is defeat. Here is an elevator. Now, if you remember from earlier, we are in a tower that is in the middle of nowhere, and there is nothing up above it, pretty much. It's just a tower that kind of ends. But look, we're going up. We're going up the elevator. I wonder where this elevator will end. And of course the camera locks itself in place because it's an elevator. Yet again, it's very consistent. And look, it's person, looking all human-like. All person-like, you could say. Person, looking all person-y. Skeleton! Don't give up, skeleton. Oh look, it's the Iron Keep. Just a completely different zone on top of this tower in the middle of nowhere. And we will eventually see that this zone stretches out for miles and miles. So just wherever you go in this game, the geometry is complete nonsense. It doesn't work. The geometry just does not work. The math does not work out. You can ask Dark Souls 2 to show its math, but then it just vomits word vomit all over your vomit place. Bearer, seek lest. I understand! Health maximum. Now adaptability to 35, and then strength maximum, and then adaptability maximum, and then who knows what? Maybe equip load? Stones, give me stones, stone lady. Maybe I need to buy stuff in order for her to get more stone.
These stones, you know, what? These, they're poor, but I.
Oh yeah, the blacksmith is her father.
You know, what? Each like a maybe that. Visit me again. I'll provide. No interest.
Maybe if I sit here, she will have more things, more stone things. Hopefully. Give me stones.
You've been well.
Nope, no stones. No stone for you, stone man. Anyway, Iron Keep that's on top of a tower in the middle of nowhere that stretches out for miles. And then we have another place that stretches out for miles. It's Lava Land. It's Lethal Lava Land. From Mario 64. We stepped into a painting, and now we're here. And we will deal with all of this nonsense next time, but first I've gotta cut these guys down. Show them what for. I think there's a summon here. Where's the summon? Give me the summon. Or rather, not summon, but invasion. There he is. I'll deal with him this time, and then next time will be next time. The rest will be next time. She's a lady. Fencer Sharon. Or is it Sharin? Or is it share without? Share in, share on. Share out. What is it? Which one is it? Man, this hammer really makes things easier. Well, anyway. Iron Keep. Next time on Dark Souls 2, the door will open. Or rather, I will open the door. The end. Until next time. The end. But not the end. To be continued. Which is kind of like the end, but the end is later.